Welcome to the Simply Incredible podcast. I am Daryl, aka The D, here with Troy Chapney,
AKA the T.
the T's and the Hizzle. And the Pizzle is not here, but you know what? He had family stuff, so we'll let it slide.
That's right. PZ, take care, man, in our prayers.
Yeah, take care of the missus. So, what do we want to talk about? Anything this week happening?
Did you have anything this weekend that you watched that you liked?
Baseball. Lots and lots of baseball.
Did you really? Like, how many hours do you think you baseball watched?
Well, it was the last weekend of the regular season, and like the last few four playoff spots were on the line by teams winning, teams losing, teams will either get in or get out, and it was, for me being a diehard baseball fan, intense.
Now I
lost fingernails.
Oh, did you really? I don't follow it. How close are we to? Like, how many teams are left?
Oh, they started the playoffs last night.
Oh, so they just started.
Yeah,
okay.
The three division winners in each league go, and then they have two wild cards. Last night, the first wild card game, and losers out, the winner advances. So then it's going to be four on each side.
Gotcha.
So, my New York Mets play tonight. They're playing right now as we record this. I totally screwed up the word record, but record this.
We reroll
this.
Rerun was on What's Happening.
So I'm dying right now. And my brother's favorite team, the Orioles, played last night against Toronto, and they did not win.
I actually saw on Facebook this morning one of my friends, Stan Corwin, was on there and saying, good season anyway.
Yeah, I mean, for the American League, that's my team in the American League. I was kind of like, man, it'd be awesome if the Mets and Orioles played, because that's me and my brother's favorite teams.
That would be awesome.
That would be.
That'd be some
tension in the family.
Dude, that'd be some tension at work too. All right.
And but one thing that can still happen, and to me this is really interesting. The Mets last won the World Series in 1986, 30 years ago. The team they beat is the Boston Red Sox. Potentially could meet again. 30-year anniversary.
That would be wild.
The Bill Buckner between the legs.
If you lost that twice.
No, we won.
No, I'm saying for Boston.
Boston, yeah.
If they won, I mean, that would just be such a blow to the whole franchise, wouldn't it?
Yeah, well, they've won, I think, 2 or 3 world championships since then. So they're not hurting.
No, they're not.
The Mets, we're hurting.
We're hurting.
We've been hurting.
What makes you stay? Number one, what made you pick the Mets as your team?
First of all, they were here in Lynchburg. They're a farm team. I grew up watching them.
Yeah,
and
remember the Lynchburg Mets.
Yeah, seeing these guys before I realized, I think I told you this before, before I realized that these were not the New York Mets. I was a kid and I thought they played in Atlanta, they played in Chicago, they come down here, played a series, then they went somewhere else. I didn't realize it was different.
How old were you when you found out?
Probably about 8, 9, 10, something like that.
Yeah.
And, we saw guys like Dwight Gooden, Darryl Strawberry, Lynn Dykstra, Kevin Mitchell, just a long list of guys that went to the majors and had pretty good careers when it wasn't going up their nose.
Yeah, no kidding. I remember meeting a bunch of those guys. I remember meeting Darryl Strawberry specifically.
Yeah.
And I went in and asked him for his autograph, and he was not real friendly.
Yeah, I've heard that a lot. But I've also heard he's changed a lot.
I've heard that he is now really friendly.
Yeah, he's been down here to Liberty University a few times.
No
kidding.
Speaking, okay.
Mm-hmm.
I did hear that he changed his life. Good for him.
I remember he became my idol growing up. I remember seeing him play, and we were on the first base side. He's a lefty. He hit one, and to this day I swear it made it to the cemetery.
I don't doubt it the way that boy could hit. I remember watching those things.
I'm sure it didn't go that far, but me as like that was in 81, so a 9-year-old. I mean, when he hit that, I'm like, oh my goodness, that made it to the cemetery. I remember it might have made it to the street now. It really might have made it that far.
Wow, that's not a joke.
And for those who know, it's about probably about 340 to the outfield. Then there's a little street. Then there's a place you can actually park your car. Then there's a fence. Then there's a 2-lane road before you get to the cemetery. So it's a long ways from that fence to that cemetery.
That's a hit.
No.
I remember watching the Lynchburg Mets and going to the games and stuff, and there was one player outside of the ones that were famous and stuff that I was really like, oh, man. His name was Rusty Tillman. Mm-hmm. Do you remember that name
at all? It sounds
familiar
familiar to me, but I can't remember for sure.
The thing is, in my mind, he was their best player because when I went one time, I guess he got a home run or he did. But I kept hearing his name, and I saw him get the home run. And I just thought he was amazing, you know. Went and got my baseball signed by him afterwards, which was great. I probably was like 7.
Yeah.
And went back, and to this day, it's like I don't think anybody remembers this guy, and he made a real impression on this 7-year-old kid.
Now the guy that did that for me was in 1985, because that was a year we went to probably 50, 60 games that year, and his name was Sean Abner. In 1984, he was the #1 draft pick in baseball, and he was here in Lynchburg. He won the league MVP that year.
Really?
And I remember seeing him game in, game out, and I was like, this guy right here, he's going to be the next great New York Met.
What happened?
When he made it to the majors, he just couldn't cut it.
That happens,
he was with
yeah.
he actually got traded before he actually played for the New York Mets to San Diego. And he just wasn't as good as he was down here. It happens.
But that's a common story, even like with college football, and stuff like that. The superstar and the Heisman Trophy winner doesn't always turn out to be the next big thing.
For the longest time, Heisman Trophy was a curse.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, you win that Heisman Trophy, you
might as well say that was the high point.
I mean, I remember Charlie Ward. He played for Florida State, Heisman Trophy winner. He also played basketball for Florida State. He was like, I'm going to play in the NBA. He played for the New York Knicks for a long time.
Did he really?
Yeah, and he was really good in basketball. You got to think of it this way too. Less hits.
Right. Well, I tell you, for the longest time, when I grew up not a Mets fan, but a Yankees fan.
Boo. Oh, sorry.
I get that a lot. It's funny though, but the reason that I became a Yankees fan wasn't because that they were doing great at the time, even though they were.
Well, like when we were young, they were not good at all.
Right.
I mean, they were good in the late 70s, but when the 80s come around, they were terrible.
Well, they had a little spike there. I think it was right around the early 80s.
Mm-hmm. When Don Mattingly was there, yeah.
Well, you had Dave Winfield.
Don Mattingly.
And Reggie Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
Was it Bucky Dent?
Bucky Dent, yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Bucky Dent. That's a name I haven't heard in a long time.
I love that name too, man.
Uh-huh.
But I remember being a fan. But the reason I was a fan wasn't because they were just doing so great, in professional baseball. But for some reason, I always loved, I wanted to understand the history of the early, part of the century.
Yeah.
Like I wondered, who was this guy, Babe Ruth, that everybody talked about?
Candy bar.
Of course, right, Babe Ruth.
Babe Ruth.
And I said, okay, let me look into him. Okay, he played for the Yankees. And then all of a sudden I heard of Lou Gehrig and Mickey Mantle. And all of a sudden I started to hear all of these players, and they're all associated with the Yankees.
Joe DiMaggio.
Yes.
Yogi Berra.
So, dude, I'm like, that's me. And then I saw the Lou Gehrig story.
Yeah.
That was, a thing. So, anyhow, that's why I stayed with the Yankees.
Yeah.
But it's funny. I couldn't tell you the first thing about A-Rod or Derek Jeter. I only know their name because they're on my Yahoo page so much in the last 10 years.
Yeah.
They're both either retired or
both
moved
of them are
on.
retired now.
Right.
A-Rod actually played some this year, but the Yankees are like, dude, you're just not doing very good.
Why not? Just because he's not caring, or because he's older?
He's just, he's old now, and maybe because he doesn't have the juice anymore.
Yeah.
And then when I say juice, I mean the needles in the butt.
Oh yeah.
Yes, he got suspended a year ago. And missed almost the entire year, and they were doing all they could to get rid of him.
Why? Because he got the scandal?
He got busted again. Because he told him, I'll never do this again. A year later, there he goes doing it again.
Well, it's real funny because a lot of sports are dirty.
Yeah.
And everybody wants to come out and have this idea of, hey man, I'm not going to do it again. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But the only reason they're saying that, they know they can't compete
Yeah.
because somebody has told them, don't worry, we have a system we can work around. They'll never find out.
He's a guy, though, when he started, he did not need this stuff. And I really think, and he actually said this, and this is one of the few things that I heard him say that I actually do believe. When he went from Seattle to Texas, he got the biggest contract in baseball history. And he was like, I need to really justify this. And he starts struggling. And he tried to find a way to beat it. And that's what happened, I think.
And I'll tell you, once you get a taste of the success that it can bring, especially on that level, if you've got a doctor who's, doing it safely, because steroids are used, medically all the time.
Yeah.
As a
I mean,
rehab.
I've taken many of them myself.
Oh, totally.
And I look like a juiced up freak. No, I really don't.
Yeah, your biceps are screaming, bro.
Yes, they're sagging.
I remember I talked to this doctor one time, and I was young, and I even asked him, I was like, how come if they're so bad for you, they're so easy to get, And I was really young.
Yeah.
And he goes, let me make you understand something. Steroids are not bad for you. And I looked at him like he was trying to sell me weed or something, right? I was like, what do you mean? He goes, steroids aren't bad. Steroid abuse is bad.
Yeah.
And he goes, if it was monitored correctly by a doctor every step of the way, it would probably make you the best version of you possible.
Yep, exactly.
He said, that doesn't mean it's without drawbacks because, when you stop introducing the testosterone artificially, your production is shut down. But he said, this doctor, he started going on a rant. He goes, if I had my way and my say, there would be an entire corps of doctors for our military, and every serviceman who was out there on the battlefield would be juiced to the gills.
I mean, that
I was
is
like, what?
That is the modern day super soldiers.
That's the super soldier serum. It's called D-ball.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
So,
Y'all thought it was something crazy in German.
I don't know what he's saying over here.
D-ball.
Wolfgang von Heikenstein.
I'm pretty sure he's the one that beat up Ice-T's buddy for his, or Ice Cube's buddy. D-ball.
D-ball.
Pretty sure that's what it was. Will's listening to this. He goes, they done screwed up another movie reference.
That's right. Oh, man.
That's my bike.
All right, now, Peasy, you can start listening again. We're off our baseball.
I did that because you never get a chance to talk about baseball.
Yeah.
And it's playoffs.
Yeah.
Listen, we had to.
Playoffs? We talking about playoffs?
He goes, tell me what point, on the podcast, put at 15:24, you can listen to movies.
Yeah, right now at 11:54.
Oh, I was close.
Yeah,
All right.
there you go. I do want to throw out a quick comic book. A shout out to a comic book. It's another Aftershock comic. It's called Animosity. And it's
Talk to me, baby.
The first 2 issues I am absolutely loving. So far, Aftershock, to me, they're putting out good stuff after good stuff.
Oh, wow.
And this
What's the other one you told me about Aftershock last week?
we had Super Zero and Rough Riders.
Rough Riders. That was the one.
Yeah. The number 6, I think it was, come out today.
Oh, man.
Yeah, good stuff. But little synopsis of this. Also, now all the animals can now communicate, and now they're turning on humans. And this one dog, his family is always there, always loves him. These animals are coming in to try to attack, and this dog is like, no, these are my people. You will not do anything.
Oh.
And I'm like, oh my goodness, this
He's
dog
Captain
is
America.
awesome. Yeah,
No,
and,
you move.
Dogs and like animals. You see birds flying in from all over, and like all kinds of animals. And this dog is like, these are my people. You will not mess with them,
Dude, that's like Animal Farm. Did you ever read that?
Oh gosh,
George Orwell?
see, like, man, I want to say I did, but long time.
Oh, dude.
Mm-hmm.
What a crazy thing. All these animals started becoming intelligent
Yeah.
and conversational.
Yeah.
And they kept it secret from the farmer and his wife.
Mm-hmm.
And it was such a neat thing because it was kind of a allegory demonstrating how people are when they get tribal in government and how power kind of goes like that. And you're like, what in the world, man? They ended up killing the farmer and his wife, and it turned into a communist regime. That's what it was, kind of a warning tale against communism.
Uh-huh.
But the same kind of thing. You had some of those guys that were standing their ground, like the horse. I
Yeah.
think it was Napoleon. So, yeah, dude, I love that. That's original.
I mean, it's only 2 issues in.
Animosity?
Yeah, Animosity. So maybe give it a shot. So,
Dude,
and I tell you, I
love
love
it.
my Aftershocks so far. Everything they're putting out seems to be pretty good.
How's the art?
I like it.
Was
I
it
like
good?
it a lot. I mean, when people ask me styles, I'm like, I don't know styles. I know what I like.
Try to describe it. Let's try to describe the style.
It feels almost like watercolory type of stuff.
Okay.
But then when you see it, you'll say something totally different because I am really
I was like, man,
bad.
this wasn't watercolor. That's pastels.
Darn it. It's
D-ball.
It's
That's my
mosaic.
bike.
It's mosaics. That's what it is.
mosaics.
They put a bunch of rocks together and makes a really cool picture. It's
Look at
awesome.
some broken tiles. Dude,
One quick baseball reference when it comes to mosaics.
Yeah.
Dunkin' Donuts. It was either Dunkin'. I want to say Dunkin' Donuts.
Why are you talking about donuts?
Because Peasy says he really enjoys them. He's trying to eat a lot of carbs.
Dude, You're killing
He's
me.
carb loading. But David Ortiz, he retired this year. His last game was the other day, and they made a huge mural for him. It's laying flat down. It's made out of donuts, and it looks amazing like him.
What you mean?
It's
a donut mosaic.
It's like 12,000 of these things.
Where is this at?
In Boston. He's a Boston Red Sox, and it was his last regular season game.
Okay, and how big was this thing?
Oh, 12,000 donuts.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Was it out on the field or something?
No, they couldn't put it on the field because they're still playing. But I mean, they put. I like in a town square or something. I don't know where it was.
Dude.
But I was like, I really want some of those donuts.
Dude, I'd be ripping it. Let me tell you what. I'm almost convinced that that's kind of what heaven is like.
He's like, I can eat the donuts and no diabetes.
I'm telling you, I really do. I think guys gonna be like, now Troy,
you can help.
That mountain there is really made out of jelly donuts.
You know what I'm thinking of right now?
What?
Treehouse of Horrors from The Simpsons.
Yeah, never seen it still.
Ugh!
I told you that before.
But this is the one where he made a deal with the devil that he bought a donut. And he's like, as long as you don't eat the entire donut, you're fine. And he told the family about it. And
who's this, Homer?
Yeah, Homer. And he ate. He kind of went there, kind of like half sleeping. Donut. And he ate that last piece. And Flanders.
Yeah.
The neighbor.
Yeah.
He was Satan. No. And he comes. He pulls Homer down. And first he's having trouble getting him down through a hole
because he's too full of donuts.
Yeah. And so there's actually an action figure. It's amazing. It's like this big contraption. It's like full of donuts. And he's like strapped down and with
I've seen this.
Like something pinched on his nose.
So his mouth is open.
Yeah, and he just keeps hulp, and he eats this entire thing of donuts. So there's it's either your heaven or your hell.
I was gonna say I like my version better. That's one
awesome.
Of the things you got to think about. God has given us this incredible joy we call
yeah.
food.
Yeah.
And it's like up there, it's got to be like, guess what? You can have as much as you want for eternity. Yeah. What a blessing.
Yes.
I mean, could you imagine? All right, what would be on your list? All right,
dude. I mean,
come on now.
This
is good stuff.
I got all the regular stuff like pizza, donuts, hot dogs, and all that stuff. I'm gonna tell you what, salads are gonna be out.
Dude, salads are out.
You throw me
unless they got donuts on it.
You throw me donut crouton.
Donut crouton.
Oh yeah. I love my Krispy Kremes.
Just the plain glazed?
I mean, you give me a plain glaze and I'm taking the box out. You throw some chocolate on it and I'll take another box.
Those are good, but they're a little plain for me. And I do. I mean, I love them.
You sprinkling them?
Put it this way. Worst donut I ever had was awesome.
Yeah, that's legitimate.
Worst donut I ever had was awesome. And I just had it recently. You know what I had was the worst donut I'd ever ate? You know those little ones that are called Sweet 16 and they got powdered or chocolate?
Mm-hmm.
They've got different brands now instead of just that brand, and they had blueberry and orange. And I don't know who in my family thought this was a good purchase. It was either my wife or my mother.
Because right now I'm confused by the combination.
Well, it was one box or bag of orange donuts.
Oh, okay. Because I thought you meant it was they like mixed them into one donut.
A blueberry orange.
It's like
blueberry orange.
Ugh.
No, but I said, dude, orange donut. Yeah, man, I'll give it a shot. I'm game. No. I still ate them though.
Yeah, well, yeah. Well, yeah.
Come on.
If you had saved some, I would have ate them.
My favorite is jelly donuts though.
Mm-hmm.
Love jellies.
What kind of jelly?
Well, my favorite jelly is if you go to Dunkin' Donuts, they actually have donut holes.
Yeah.
That are really like the soft glaze, not the cake donuts that are solid, and they've got jelly filled in them. So
really on a donut hole?
Inside a donut hole. So
I have not had these.
Let me tell you, heaven, my brother. St. Peter, when you're up there, he gonna have a bag of Dunkin' Donut jelly-filled donut
That is
holes.
if we can get through the gate. If we get through the gate, that's in our goodie bag.
Dude, no kidding. That would be hell. What is it? On the other side of these golden gates is jelly donuts. No! All right, from donuts, I go into my other one would be Fruity Pebbles.
Fruity Pebbles?
Holy cow. I could eat them.
Wow.
And you know what kills me? You would think they're probably doing, it's probably a really good thing. I could knock out a box of those, and during a movie.
Wait, dry?
Oh no! I'm gonna milk it up. I had a buddy because for the longest time I did this thing. It was called a carb cyclic diet, which basically was 5 days of low carb, like the 30 grams, and then you would carb load over the weekend. Best shape I ever got in my entire life. Best conditioning. My blood work was really, really good. I had a 1,000-gallon gas tank. I could go forever. And what I would do is have like meat, egg, and cheese during the week, and then on the weekends, dude, it was people would come and like watch because they were like, "Don't feed the Troy."
Because all I'm thinking of is now The Rock. You seen his cheat stuff?
Dude, when I read what he did,
I mean, I saw
we
one of them,
became
he had
kindred spirits.
He had like 10 pizzas delivered to him, and
I remember that.
I 100% believe he ate them all.
Oh, I know he did. I had done, this method, and and I was meticulous. It would not start until midnight on Friday night, and I would go at it. And I would literally have like Fruity Pebbles, and over the course of a weekend, all of this stuff would be polished off. A couple of large pizzas. A couple of boxes, either of donuts, Twinkies. I love Twinkies.
Oh, Twinkies.
Love
I
Twinkies.
haven't had a Twinkie in a long time.
Dude.
Now, you got to get Twinkies, though. You can't get these off-brands.
No, you can't get Golden Cream Puff.
Yeah, people like, it's the same thing. No. It is not the same thing.
The monosodium glutamate has a very distinct...
Okay, we're quoting Die Hard now. We're going to Die Hard.
I totally messed that up, but I was going to go for it anyway. And it was so delectable. But... I think if you go into heaven, that's probably going to be a big portion of it.
Yeah.
Because I would go, and back then it was when you'd go to Friday night Blockbuster.
Yep.
And I'd go rent me out like a couple of movies for the whole weekend. And dude, and I would still work out. My Saturdays, I'd still go. I had like, I'd run for like 7 or 8 miles and train. And then I'd come back and I'd pick up the carb load again.
I just see you running down the road, holding a pizza, eating it on the way.
Oh, dude! If I could have figured that out without being nauseous,
with the donuts in it.
But one time, my buddy comes down from the apartment upstairs. He comes down and he sees me just getting down on this box of Fruity Pebbles, and his eyes light up like a little kid, and he goes, "Oh man, Fruity Pebbles, dude! You mind? I'm in, right?" I'm in. I'm like, I look at him. I'm a giver. Yeah, man, sit down. Yeah, heck yeah, let's do it up. Because I'm looking at it like this. If he helps me and we polish this off, that's just an excuse to get a whole nother box.
Oh, okay. Because I just had this vision of you, like, with your spoon. Just,
oh, dude. I wasn't growling, but what made him leave was my rapid pace was I was slurping. So I was like... And I see him munching, and I look over at him, and he's looking at me,
like
and
this look of disgust.
Oh, dude, totally. I think it hurt the friendship. Actually, he looked at me and shook his head, and stood up, and took his bowl, and he goes, "No, the slurping. I'm going upstairs."
I just have this vision like you have like Fruity Pebbles like in your mouth, like all around your mouth, like some on your shirt.
Oh no! That would be counterproductive because that means I don't get those Fruity Pebbles.
That's right. Like what else now? Because I like if you ask me cereal, and I've got Raisin Bran. I love me some Raisin Bran.
Are you kidding? That was like a punishment cereal.
No, that's cornflakes. Cornflakes is punishment. You give me some sugar and some raisins up in there, I'm okay. Dude, and then Fruit Loops.
Fruit Loops are okay.
I love me some Fruit Loops.
Now, my next thing, Fruity Pebbles was like the gold ring, but my next family of it was Captain Crunch.
Oh my goodness.
Captain Crunch. Crunch berries.
Yep.
Peanut butter.
I didn't like peanut butter.
Oh my gosh.
I like the Crunch berry. I didn't like the peanut butter.
Dude, good because there's more for me.
That's right.
Now they've got the Reese Puffs. Holy cow.
Reese Puffs. Yeah, I have seen that, yeah.
If you never had,
do you like Reese Cups?
Them.
I love my Reese Cups.
Then you got to have some.
Now, I will say this. One of my friends just gave me some knockoff Reese Cups. I don't like them.
Oh, yeah, totally.
I mean, you got to have that Hershey chocolate on there.
You know what? I don't think I've ever had like the other knockoff that I saw called the Mallow Cup.
The Mallow Cups,
I looked at those and I was like, no.
You put a marshmallow.
Forgery.
You put a marshmallow inside of chocolate.
Oh, dude, now.
Yeah.
You know what? Do you remember moon pies?
Yes. I never liked the moon pie.
Never did.
I never liked the moon pie.
But when I was a kid and had no kind of like nutritional upbringing,
Yep.
and I had some moon pies there,
Yeah.
I was polishing them.
Well, yeah.
Yourself too.
Well, I'm like this. I work at a convenience store, and the Little Debbie man, sometimes he has some stuff that's stale. By stale, I mean like 2 days old.
Mm.
And he's
If
like,
I'd have known you during my carb load days, we would have been better friends.
yeah, and he just gave us some donuts. These glazed Little Debbie donuts. These things are disgusting. And I still ate them.
Dude, that's my man.
I was like, oh, this is terrible. It's like, oh, that's not glaze. That's like butter glaze on there. That ain't no good.
Let me put a disclaimer. The only way that I ever did that approach and felt okay about it was because it was part
Yeah.
of that diet.
Mm-hmm.
And what their theory was this. They said on a chemical level, you're turning your body a metabolic change and using fat for fuel. But if you take and go into ketosis, which is where you're now, having evidence of that process being present, what we're going to do is switch. Instead of staying in ketosis where you would plateau, we're going to switch, and now we're going to carb load so that the carbs are going to be present in our system for the next 5 days.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you, I had 1,000-gallon. I've never been able to work out like that. Not since.
There you go.
Dude.
See me, I like this last month. You've seen my
You've
gains
done
this last
great.
month.
Yes.
I am actually down almost 20 pounds now.
Dude, fantastic.
And I was telling somebody tonight, I was like, I think I might be losing weight too fast.
No, you don't even think about that. Just go.
Well, let's put it this way. Since from Monday to today, I lost 2 pounds.
Do it. Your body is righting itself, I believe.
Because right now I'm like, I might want to eat more.
Well, you know what though? There's a lot of times that
I mean, I got stuck at 156. It was like, I'm not moving. But I kept doing what I was doing.
That's right.
And it's starting to go back down. Like, word.
And my experience seeing, people in the gym go through that similar kind of a thing,
Yep.
it's almost like being in an apartment building with the stairs instead of the elevators. All of a sudden you'll see a decrease and you hit a landing.
Yep.
And you'll be doing everything right, but your body is kind of holding on to that, fat. I mean, it's a survival instinct.
Yep.
And then without warning, without changing anything even, it releases you again. You go down another flight. So when that happens,
I know this. I hope it looks like I'm doing this, but I feel like my energy is picking up. I feel like my training is picking up and doing better.
when you came in here, if you would even be able to kind of like shadow box during the class, you'd be like winded and sweating.
Well, I looked like I was pregnant.
Well, dude, I've been there too. And let me tell you, now you're moving and grooving. Keep doing what you're doing. It
Doing good.
shows. But, with this approach, I did become a connoisseur of junk food.
Oh yeah.
What
Yeah.
other cereals did you like? Because Raisin Brands, that's the most uncreative
I mean,
cereal.
it's like for me, I mean, honestly, I love me some Raisin Bran. And I know most people do not like it, but I would put down a box of Raisin Bran.
Anything else? Like, do you like any of the
like
sugary
Fruit
stuff?
Loops. That's my two.
You like Trix?
I never like that because Tricks are for kids.
Honeycomb?
Honeycomb, didn't like honeycomb.
Golden Grams?
No, those golden grams. What were those things? Sugar Smacks?
Sugar Smacks?
Yeah, I did like those.
Life?
No.
No?
I like the Game of Life, but not the
That
Food
game,
of Life.
I played that on.
I always spun the little wheel and didn't want to turn all the way. You just
Yeah,
gotta get stuck.
dude, right?
Like, do I gotta put some oil on this wheel? What's going on here?
Cookie Crisp?
I never had Cookie Crisp.
It's like having a bowl of cookies and a bowl of milk.
You know what? I did have that, and it was delicious because it was like chocolate chip.
Dude, Lucky Charms?
I do love some Lucky Charms now.
Okay.
Now, to me, Lucky Charms is you know the alphabets,
Oh, yeah.
which
yeah.
I hate. My mom loves.
No, I love them. They're good.
But it's like that, and then you put in some delicious sugary marshmallowy things in there. Like, oh yeah.
Have you seen now?
I
Because
mean, I've actually just picked those out and ate those.
oh, of course, everybody's done that. That's what I was going to tell you. Now what they have is a bag of just the marshmallows.
Really?
Yes, and they have another box of just the crunch berries.
I'm gonna.
This is decadence. This is decadence to do this.
I'm gonna be like, listen, dentist. Here's the thing. I will be getting a lot of cavities, but it's healthy cereal. Trust me, it is.
He's like, all right, here's what I've done for you. I've taken 2 mouthpieces that will coat your teeth,
Oh yeah.
and you will chomp.
There we go.
See, or you can put them in a blender and drink them.
Oh yes, we can juice them.
Juice them. Now,
Oh, just the thought of juiced stuff. That just sounds terrible.
gosh,
to
I
me.
must be a terrible pig because I'm like, there's a lot of efficiency in that way to get my sugar.
Do you like really, really spicy food?
No, I like it more now
Mm-hmm.
than I ever did.
See, I used to love it, and gosh, I've hit that age now where my stomach is like, no, stop, no.
I'm the other way around. I
Mm-hmm.
never did it, but now I'm able to tolerate it. It used to make me. Kids used to get these. You remember the Fireballs?
Yeah.
The candy.
Mm-hmm.
We had this guy used to come around and always have Fireballs and hand them out. And I was like, all the kids would just love them. Oh yeah, Fireball, Fireball. And they'd always try to pawn that crap off on me. And they're like, you want one? And I'll be like, yes. Why in the heck would I want to put a lit match on my tongue?
Yep.
No, I do not want a Fireball.
You know what they were doing, don't you?
Yeah, showing off.
It was the old, this is disgusting. Here, you try.
Yeah. That's like if your buddy passes gas. Did you smell that? I'm leaving. I'm leaving.
You remember Eddie Murphy? I think you secretly want to smell other people's farts.
He's like, oh yeah, I can smell it. That's bad. No, I'm out.
Yeah, come and try this. Try this over here. Yeah, that is bad.
But now,
wait, hold on. Let me show. Yeah, that is.
Oh yeah,
That
that's
is
eggs.
bad.
I smell that. That's bad. But my whole thing about it is now. I read somewhere because as I'm getting older, man, I work outside in the wintertime sometimes, and it's freezing.
Yep.
And I read somewhere, well, if you eat spicy foods, it'll increase your circulation, make, warm you up.
It'll make you sweat.
It'll make you sweat.
Mm-hmm.
So I started, experimenting, and I took and I'd make me some scrambled eggs, and instead of just eating them like that, which I love just regular eggs like that.
I'll throw some ketchup in there.
I used to, but it's sugar, so I stay away from
that's
all
right,
my
that's
sugar
right.
now. And
Little Texas Pete, maybe?
yes,
I love me some Texas Pete in there, too.
Texas Pete. You know what else is good that I like?
What's that?
A1.
Really? I've not tried that.
A
with that.
little A1 gives it just something, and you don't want to douse it.
Yeah.
But like the Texas Pete and the spicy stuff, it kind of made me go like, oh, dude, that's way better than just plain.
I tell you what I like A1 on. Meatloaf.
Oh, dude, I love a good meatloaf though. If it's good, it's good.
Yeah.
What other spicy stuff do you like?
Oh, gosh. I used to get tacos, but when we'd make them at home, we would chop up some jalapenos
Oh, Lord.
as the meat's cooking and put a little spice in there. Some of the, what are those things? The flakes, what are those spicy flakes?
Yeah, the red pepper flakes.
Yes. Put some of those as it's cooking, and that kicks it up a notch.
Heck yeah, dude.
Yeah, and then we got the hot sauce we put on top of it.
Dude, I'm telling you.
So I mean, yeah.
Was it too much though?
Oh no.
You ever have those buddies that try to take and like almost not fool you, but goad you into like something that's going to probably send you to the hospital?
Because this is something I was trying to kind of get towards with the spicy food. Mike and Mike in the Morning on ESPN.
Okay.
Mike lost a bet. Mike Golick, the ex-football player, he lost a bet, and one of the punishments was he had to eat a ghost chili hamburger.
I've heard of those.
And this one's
Ghost
got,
chilies, I
it's
mean.
got a ghost chili sauce that they have cooked into the meat and then poured on top of it.
Why would you make that bet?
Because he was like, I love spicy food. I can do that. And
he has no idea.
yeah, and he started eating one, and one of the women, she was on there, she goes, okay, in about 20 seconds, you're going to start feeling it. He's like, oh my gosh, this is so good. And he just eats that first one like, whatever. And then all of a sudden, they put a countdown. 3, 2, 1. And I was like, you see sweat start forming. He's like, I'm having a little trouble here filling my lips right now. Now, these are like slider size. Slider size burgers.
yeah.
So one person ate 3 of them. So he's like, oh, I'm going to do this. Then he starts eating the second one. He got cocky. He dipped one in the sauce.
What an idiot.
And he was like, after he ate, he's like, yeah, that really added. And then a few minutes later, he goes, that was a huge mistake. That was a huge mistake.
Dude.
and he finished like 3 of them. And I was like, and he's later on in the show, he goes, yeah, I still can't feel my throat right now. And my lips are starting to feel better, but now the fire, it's an inferno in my stomach.
Why would you do that to yourself?
He's like, and one of the other guys, he did the challenge too. He goes, he did it before. He goes, now here's what you got to worry about. Later on, you'll be by yourself in the restroom regretting every choice you've ever made.
Dude.
It's
like, okay.
It's funny to watch someone else do this to themselves.
Your butt will now become a flamethrower.
Yes.
You idiot.
He was like, yeah, I might either have to go to a hotel to be away from my wife because she doesn't want this in her house, or she's going to go to a hotel.
Dude, you ever see that thing, Man versus Food?
Yeah, Adam Richmond was actually. They actually called him to see what he should do to prepare for these things.
Oh, dude, because
Yeah.
I remember he did a couple of those
Yeah.
things, where he'd have to, try the
Yeah.
contest. I remember he did the spicy buffalo wings or something like that. And they actually, on some of these things, make you sign a waiver because they've had people go into cardiac arrest.
Yeah.
I'm like, what
There was,
in the
there
heck?
was one where I want to say it might have been one of those, but he didn't finish it, and he actually went into their freezer and grabbed some ice and just started like putting it all over his face, and then he realized, oh, I just touched my face.
Oh.
And he was burning. I know it's horrible to laugh at him, but doggone it.
I remember I had this buddy, and he had eaten like this incredible spicy food. I mean, just incredible. And then he didn't think about it. A few hours later, he went and he made out with his girlfriend. And all of a sudden, she just started screaming, "Ah! What is this?" And he was like, "What's the matter?" And just on fire. Oh my God! Drinking milk, on the tongue.
Yeah.
Feel like Dumb and Dumber with the squirting the
Yeah,
mustard and
the
ketchup
mustard and
straight up in
ketchup.
the air, trying to catch it.
Oh gosh, I love that movie.
Dude, that was good.
You know what we need to talk about?
What?
Connor's Corner.
Oh, Connor's
We're
Corner.
35 minutes in. Haven't talked about Connor's Corner.
That's because you got me started on donuts and cereal.
Donuts and
You're
this is Peasy's fault.
Oh, dude,
Because
you're,
Peasy started this.
you're lucky I didn't go on pizzas. That's another 30 minutes. Hey, to be continued.
Well,
You know what we're
would you
going to
like
call
a
it? Well,
pizza?
this will be like our the foodie section.
Yeah. Oh man, I'm gonna have to go get me something to eat now.
Hey.
I just had an apple.
Let me just do this just so we can balance it out.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things that I've done is try to look when I was trying to a different approach. I don't do the carb loading anymore.
Yeah.
But one of the ways that I take and try to keep my health up is that I always tell myself, if it's up to me, I want my food, it has to taste good. It has to be easy to prepare. And it can't take a long time. I don't have that kind of length. And one thing that I found that was really good and low carb was you get a low carb protein powder and you put it in a bowl and you crack an egg in it.
Yep.
Mix it up like a batter and nuke it for 1 minute, like a mug cake, like inside of a coffee mug or a bowl. And for somebody who was avoiding bread and carbs, I mean, it was like almost like a dessert. And they had all these different things. So if you're listening to this and you're like, man, they got me all hungry, you want to stay on your diet? Do that. It's fantastic.
Yeah, you also told me about pork rinds.
Pork rinds, I do all kinds of stuff with that. Like I can eat them just out of the bag as a snack. One of my favorite things is using it as a crust for a pizza.
Yeah. I still haven't tried this yet, but you told me, I was like, man, it sounds pretty good, actually.
It is fantastic. Put it this way. There's no way it competes with Domino's, Pizza Hut. To be honest, like one of my favorites is the $1 Tostinos.
I love those things. People give me crap about it. I'm like, dude,
They
I
are
actually love them.
a beautiful thing. I had the guy who works with me, Josh, takes 2 of them upside down, like so that the meats are facing each other, and cooks them like that, and pinches the edges and makes a homemade calzone.
Oh,
Is that good or what? Right? That's good stuff.
I have.
If you want to be fat, out of shape, and die early,
Well,
but with a smile.
yeah, that might be something for the weekend.
That's what he does. He does it on the weekend.
Just once.
Just once. But dude, what was I just saying before that?
Pork rinds.
Pork rinds. The pork rind recipe, and you can get these online now with the internet. They're so easy
There's
to get.
so many low carb things, and dude, I see a lot of them on Facebook. A lot like that looks really good.
Really good. But the thing about the pork rind crust is that it's still very low carb. I mean, like 3 carb for the whole pizza.
Yeah.
Because the other thing, I mean, for the whole crust. And then on top of it, you get you a low carb like pizza sauce, and that's usually about maybe 4 or 5 grams. So you're looking at a 7-gram intake of carbohydrates and still getting something like pizza.
Yeah.
And I mean, close enough to where you're like, okay, little cheese, mozzarella, pepperonis, mushrooms, hamburger, whatever. But you know what's even quicker and easier than that?
What's that?
Take and just get a frying pan, take shredded cheese and cover it, and get that thing, to melt almost pancake style.
Yep.
Put it on a plate, cover it with a little bit of pizza sauce, and while it's still, warm, and put some of your toppings on it and eat it like that.
You were telling me about that once before. I was like, I need to try this. And I still haven't tried this yet.
Really, 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 really good. And then, like, there's a breadless calzone. What you do is you get a bowl, and you put mozzarella and ricotta cheese with your favorite toppings, mix it up, and nuke it. Mm-hmm. And it's the same kind of taste that you get with your calzone, but without all the bread.
There you go.
Super simple too.
So now we've got bad options, and now we've got good options.
Yeah, we put a little balance in.
And to drink water, have your water with it,
dude. Forever foodies.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right, hey, comic book corner, for Connor.
And
Connor's character.
Connor wanted Storm, and I talked him out of this.
Yes, your political agenda has been reached.
Yes.
This is going to be a lesson for me because I got to tell you, I don't know much about the character. You want to introduce it? Today's character
is Harley Quinn.
Dun,
for
dun,
those who
dun.
don't know, which if you've listened to anything I've ever said.
Watch me. I'm going to put my mic down.
Mic drop, ladies and gentlemen. I love my Harley Quinn. And she started way back with the Batman Adventures. This is back when on the TV series. They kind of threw her in
the animated series.
Yeah, the animated series,
not 66.
No, not 66. But she where was I going with this? Oh yeah. She was actually based off the what's his name? Paul Denny, I believe his first name. I know it's Denny, but he saw a character on a daytime soap, and she was dressed up in this like court jester in her voice, and he goes, "That is awesome." And he talked to this woman, and she agreed to do the voice for Harley Quinn, and he made it based on her.
Is he the artist for the animated series?
Dude, I want to say he was one of the writer artists. I don't know if he was actually an artist or not. I know he's a writer.
Okay.
So that's how Harley came into existence. And all these years later, who would have thought? But she started out as first appearance, just there she is. She's now Joker's girlfriend. At first appearance, that's what she was. Later on, they put a backstory behind her in Mad Love.
Okay.
Great comic book for me. If you love Harley, you'll love the book.
Gotcha.
Because it really gives that tragic character that she is. That character that falls for the bad guy and it gets abused and keeps going back. Gets slapped around, keeps going back. Verbally abused, keeps going back.
I actually was torn on whether I ever wanted to even know about the character. Looking at it, it looked forced and gratuitous. I didn't see. I was like, I don't get this. It's like this crazy chick that they dress scantily. I mean, she's hot.
Now she's dressed scantily. Before
right,
she was. I mean,
she was like a Harlequin.
Yeah, like a Harlequin novel.
Yep. But I'll be honest. I know that you hated the movie, but the movie made me a fan of the character.
No. I didn't like the Joker.
I thought
Suicide
you hated
Squad.
the movie.
No, I like all the other characters. I thought were great. I thought they fit.
Yeah, I did too.
But I just thought the Joker that felt forced in there.
I honestly could have deleted him and enjoyed that a lot more.
Yeah, the backstory that they had was pretty much opposite of how it really was in the in the comic books.
Okay,
that's the big problem I had. Like when she changed, and from really Dr. Harleen Quinzel to Harley. And you saw where she gets put in the acid. He throws her in the acid. Not she just agrees to jump.
Kill her and it just bleaches her skin or something.
I don't know.
Okay. Comic book logic?
Yes.
Got it.
Yes. There's a lot of that.
I don't mind it. You can even answer my questions ever. If I have a question, how does that work out? You say, comic book logic, yeah. Comic book rules. Okay.
And then she became popular, and she had her own line start out in 2000, I believe it was. And that lasted 38 issues. And I'm still working on completing that series.
How many are you short?
I've got about 20 of them. So
I've got the whole series, dude.
Well, the Harley series from the 80s?
I got the entire thing boxed and boarded, and I got them all in one shot.
Bring them on over.
I'm just kidding. I ain't got them.
Lies!
Bang! Look at that. I'll give it to you, then I'll rip it away.
You know what?
You know what that is? The universe probably owed you something.
I'm going to be tagging you in a whole lot of food pictures now. Lots of them.
I'm an oak, Wyatt.
Lots of donuts.
If you know that reference, you get points.
I don't.
Wyatt, you're an oak.
No.
Tombstone, Doc Holliday.
Oh, yes. Oh, so long since I've seen that.
Come on, dude.
Gosh,
that's a good one.
And
Oh, real quick, let me just say this. The other night, me and Connor went and watched The Magnificent Seven.
all good.
And Connor was like, oh, man, I don't want to see a cowboy movies. Cowboys are the bad guys. Look, we took the land from the Indians. And I was like, okay, there is some truth there.
Yes.
But in the movies, cowboys are the good guys.
Yeah.
And so I had to force him to go, and he loved it.
Yeah.
He loved it.
Yeah, I watched it. It's really good.
So now
Denzel is Denzel.
Denzel. Chris Pratt, give me a break.
The only thing I thought about Chris Pratt in this, I felt a lot of Star-Lord in it.
I think it's kind of like Ryan Reynolds. Ryan Reynolds is Ryan Reynolds in every movie.
Yep.
Keanu Reeves. Tom Cruise.
Speaking of Keanu, I'm still waiting for another Bill and Ted. I keep hearing about it.
Dude, I tell you what, I know that
I don't think
Ted is all about, please give me one more payday.
You're not kidding.
Give me
Was
one
it
more
Alex
payday.
Winters?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, dude, just give me anything. Throw me a bone.
Honestly, if I had a friend, that I'd worked with like that, and he was feeling like that, and I knew it's like, dude, I don't want to do another one.
Yeah.
But you know what? If it hadn't have been for our chemistry, I wouldn't be where I am. Let me hook you up. You can do something else with me.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be a good story in Hollywood?
I've heard for a long time that they keep talking about it. And Keanu, I heard a long time ago, was on board for it.
Well, Keanu, if you read anything about his backstory, he's a good guy.
I've heard that, yeah.
He had a really messed up life with a lot of loss and death and stuff like this, and that he had to overcome. And he is a giver. He is a giver.
Give us more Bill and Ted.
Dude, no doubt. Give us more.
Even though all these years later,
Uncle D, I want more Bill and
it's going
Ted.
to be like another Dumb and Dumber. And too much time has passed.
Dude, let me tell you, that was one of the most disappointing.
Golly,
they're going to do it together? That was awful.
Brutally bad.
I mean,
it's one of those things that I'm sticking around just hoping something funny happens.
Me too, and it did not.
Yeah, the credits, I was cheering for those.
I was like, that.
Woohoo, credits. It's over.
I hate to say it, the last one was worse than Dumb and Dumberer.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that was one of the worst movies I've ever seen. And this was worse than that.
That was horrible.
But Harley, back to Harley. Give me some more Harley stuff.
Well, then they came out, they had a break, and then when the new 52 come out, they restarted her own line again, and it's fallen. It's fallen a lot. She, they changed her into, this is when they became the really scantily clad stuff. No longer the court jester outfit.
Is she more like the movie Harley?
Yeah. And it's just like, for me, I love my old Harley. There's spots in it that's funny here and there. It's not the same old Harley.
It's really hard if you've already connected with one way.
Well, I think the biggest thing, she's going from sidekick to star.
Yeah.
And that's hard for, just actors in general to take that break.
Yep.
Break out and to be their own thing. And now they've started with the new, what's the new line? Rebirth. It's dropped a lot.
Now, the old ones, they really did almost like an adult tongue-in-cheek kiddie, like the animated series was like that. It was for kids, but it was really for
it was really for adults, yeah.
But it still had enough of the kid flavor that it made it a fun experience. Even the Killing Joke.
Yeah.
The art on that, the simplicity in it was more like for a kid.
Yeah.
But, dude, it still, it kind of, I don't know. You had such adult content, but with that, it almost kind of like when you're taking medicine and you put it inside the donut.
Yeah.
All right? Boom, here you go.
Yeah. I've sadly had to do that.
Did you have to do that?
Well, not in a donut, but
peanut butter?
In milk.
Milk.
When I was little, I had to get more calcium, so they put calcium in milk. And it was disgusting. It wasn't like chocolate milk. It was nasty. you put calcium in there, you drink it, and then there's always some at the bottom. You still got to have it. Yeah. I
had a buddy of mine who lived next door, and he was lactose intolerant. And I felt so bad because I loved,
ice cream, can't have none. Cheese, can't have none.
Can't have none. Can't have cereal and milk. And I'm like, Saturday morning at 6 in the morning, I'm already up. I am sitting on my couch, Indian style, with a bowl of sugary cereal and a gallon of milk, watching black and white George Reeves Superman.
Yeah.
And he'll never know that joy. And I remember actually had a moment where I was like, my heart is breaking for you, bro.
Followed by hope.
Well, I think yes. The slurping. But it was like he had like powdered milk that he could have.
Mm-hmm.
And it just, I mean,
Yeah.
whenever he'd mix it up,
Yeah.
I wanted to just hug him and hold him a little bit. It's like, it'd be okay. In heaven, you can have, like, all the cow milk you want.
That's right. Moo milk.
Moo milk.
And
Now, Harley...
Yeah, Harley, as the end of the New 52 came on, they gave her, like, a gang of Harley. So now she's, like, leader of her little gang. And it's like, they just finished
And they're all girl Harlequins?
except for one. It's like,
That's whack. I
yeah.
do not like that.
And then you have like some like creatures, and one's like a Humpty Dumpty egg that talks. And so I'm like, what?
Yeah.
And then
Weed is a powerful drug.
Then she's got a beaver.
Oh, I've heard that before.
Yeah, she's got a beaver that it's an actual talking half burnt beaver that
Wow.
walks around and tries to give her advice.
I had so many comments, but my children are listening to this.
She showed Poison Ivy her beaver. Yeah.
I actually remember something like that. I don't know if it was you telling me or me seeing like a little ad. Dude, crazy.
I mean, I like a lot of stuff Amanda Conner and Jimmy Palmiotti, they do, but I'm like, really? Do you really want to go that really stupid joke, really?
You know what, though? You got to think some of these guys, if they've been doing it a long time and they're just kind of like dried up ideas, they sound like, yeah, it's like, that's a gold nugget, throw it in.
But, I mean, they came out with Super Zero. I'm like, this is awesome. And I told you, I don't know if we told, you weren't here when we talked about this. You stepped outside because we were talking about Super Zero.
Yeah.
And one of the theories I thought would have been awesome, because they did Harley and Super Zero, is if later on you found out Drew becomes Harley later.
Dude, I love stuff like that.
That would have been so awesome.
You think it could happen?
No.
Because they're publishing.
Well, I mean,
conflict?
it's one's DC, one's Aftershock, but I mean, to me, it would be a great idea. But I don't think that'll happen.
That gives me. I've got an idea for a podcast theme. Untold stories that need to be told.
Yeah.
Like questions that need to be answered in either DC or Marvel.
Is this kind of like what if type things?
Yeah, but not just what if, like, wouldn't it be cool if? What about, there's stories that it's like, I don't know this answer. Do they have a story for that?
Yeah.
If so, maybe you guys in YouTube land can help us locate it. And if not, dude, let's write our own.
That'd be cool.
Wouldn't that be cool? Do some fan fiction.
Well, and the last part about Harley, in the new Rebirth, they decided to throw zombies in with it.
Of course.
So I'm like, really? Y'all are really fishing for stuff now. And now Ivy saves Harley, and now they are a couple.
Wow.
Shower scenes and all.
Really?
Really. I mean, obviously you're not seeing the body parts, but yeah.
Strategically placed steam.
Yes. I'm like, really, guys?
Wow, yeah. Now, the worst thing I hate that DC, even and Marvel too, I can't just say DC. I cannot stand how many times they've restarted
Yep.
all of these lines. Because, all right, here's the thing for me. Suicide Squad, #1. If I go and find Suicides or put in that in Google to buy it,
Yep.
there's going to be 8 different Suicide Squad #1s, 20 different Suicide Squads. And I know that number's
4, I think.
okay. But my purpose
I know your
is
point.
this,
Yeah.
is like, which one would you call the definitive take that I should start with to understand?
I understand you're saying here, but Suicide Squad's a bad example.
Why?
Because
it's a team book and it
it's
changes?
team, yeah. And I mean, if you put like Spider-Man, I could see what you're saying. But this, you have people that die, and then someone else comes in to take that spot. So I can see where they could have different groups of Suicide Squad. Like the Avengers.
Yep.
You have these guys come in, some guys go out, episodes later, comics later, different people come in.
True, but
I mean, a lot of the main group of Suicide Squad is still there.
okay, but here's listen to this point. If we already understand that in order to keep it from getting stale, and to give some heft to some of the stories, they change characters up either by, hey, they had another mission, or they died, or they quit, whatever. But we can take and still say, if we wanted to share the comic book experience with somebody who was clueless, for the X-Men, there's two major teams. The old, that is First Class.
Yep.
Jean Grey, Cyclops, Iceman, Beast, Angel, and Xavier.
And those outfits that they had.
The blue and yellow?
Yeah, that to me, I love those.
Without a doubt.
Yeah.
And then Giant Size X-Men #1 is where they took and said, okay, let's shake it up. And they introduced the standard for the new team. Wolverine, Colossus, Storm, Kitty Pryde, who am I forgetting? Cyclops. I mean,
Cyclops wasn't the original, or no?
Yeah, it was the same guy, but he was in both. He was kind of like the bridge, Professor X. But that crew was my X-Men. And then you had like Banshee and was it what was the Indian? Warbird? Warhawk?
Was it Warpath?
Warpath.
And I don't even know anything about X-Men.
Sunfire was in there. And even though they were in there, the ones that fell off in that first issue. So that core group, that's where I started reading X-Men. So if I wanted to tell somebody,
Suicide Squad, there are two basic things. You'd go like the first original series, and I got to be honest, I don't know the entire group. But then when the New 52 come out,
that was a good take.
Yeah, that's when like the new group started. That's when Harley became part of it as well.
Okay.
So, and honestly, that Harley Quinn, again, dressed scantily clad and stuff, which again, I don't like that, but I understand they got to update things.
Well, yeah, and you got to shake it up, make it new. If it's not new, it's through.
Yeah, but like that group, New 52, and what they have out now in the Rebirth, is really, really good.
Okay.
And you got a lot of the same characters that go all the way through.
Now that we're a little bit further along, what are you liking better, the New 52 or Rebirth?
Rebirth has been amazing.
Really? Because I love some of the New 52.
Yeah. Well, some of them I haven't read. I know you said Aquaman was great.
Yep.
I'd never read that run of Aquaman.
Justice League was awesome too.
I didn't read any of that either.
That was amazing.
Which I should have, because Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman.
You need to.
Aquaman,
that's
that whole group. Green Lantern.
Yeah.
By the way, the new Green Lanterns is really good. The male and female Green Lantern. It's really good. Good line.
I'm gonna have to have you put those all in the comments section. That's what we ought to do, so that we can remember exactly which ones. I get home sometimes and I'm like, dude, I don't know where it is on the podcast to listen for those titles you told me to read.
Like around 57 minutes.
Like Rough Riders and stuff. I was like, I couldn't remember that one until this week.
Oh, dude, you got to read that. Good stuff. Good stuff.
Okay, now, Harley, if you would look at all the characters when it comes to female characters, is she your favorite female character?
I love my Harley Quinn.
Yeah, I mean, she has to be your number one,
even though, again, like the newer stuff has not been anywhere near as good. But if I go with someone who's had a lot of longevity, it's going to be Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman has been amazing for, 75 years?
Yeah.
But over the last 20 years, Harley's been really, really good.
What did you think about Wonder Woman, Gal Gadot's
absolutely phenomenal.
Perfect, right?
Oh, my goodness. She blew me away.
Me too.
Because I think we all agree that, I think she's too skinny for this role.
Yeah.
After seeing her in Fast and Furious. And then you see her come out there and own that screen.
That was perfect.
And
to me, I was like, that was like how the Hulk was the surprise scene stealer.
Yeah.
In Batman versus Superman, yeah. Wonder Woman was.
Oh, yeah. She was. Wow. I mean, I cannot wait for her movie.
When does Justice League come out? Before her movie or after her movie?
I would hope after.
I would too.
I assume after.
And is Justice League coming out next summer?
I think so.
Dude.
I mean,
I cannot believe I just found out Thor Ragnarok isn't coming out until November 7th.
That late next year?
Yeah, next year. For some reason.
I thought that was like early in the year.
I thought it was early.
Peasy, he'd be down here. He's like, no, this is what date everything is. And I just kind of thought it was earlier.
I stopped watching the calendar for those things because the anticipation drives me bananas.
It's coming out in 2 weeks.
Doctor Strange.
Jack Reacher.
Oh, okay. Cause yeah, that's right.
Oh, I can't wait for that. I'm so excited.
Dude, I love that
Then
first
Strange
one.
next month. Rogue One December.
Oh, in December. It's Strange. Gotcha.
Yeah.
For some reason, your shorthand on those threw me. I was like, Short Strange on Doctor December. What?
Yeah, that's exactly what I may or may not have said.
I'm dyslexic visually and auditorily.
So, I mean, the next 3 months, I see at least one really good movie in each month. At least.
You know, that's another thing. Whenever we come to this point in the year and you know that it slows down.
Yep.
Me and Connor, we used to not care whatever it was. We're going to the theater on Friday. Whatever is okay, I'm going to go see. Because we loved that time together. And now he's getting to the point where he's like, no, we don't have to do that, Dad. Let's take and show me some of these classics that you've got.
There you go.
He has finally agreed to watch the original Point Break. Can you believe I had to convince him?
Connor, listen, it
Talk
is
to him,
amazing.
It's amazing.
This new thing that they made, it was all right.
Dude, it was barely all right.
I mean, you know, if you like watching the, you know, those kind of like events and stuff that they do, like the flying in the squirrel suit thing.
Just go to YouTube.
Yeah, you can see 1,000, but the original, Swayze, come on, Reeves, come on.
That's an awesome movie.
Really, really good. The Presidents.
I'm not a crook.
Okay. Oh, one thing that we did find out this week, on March 17th, Iron Fist on Netflix.
I saw that, dude.
I can't wait. I finished Luke Cage.
I'm close, dude. I didn't think I was gonna take and be able to knock it out.
Yeah.
But every night I've just knocked out a couple, and dude, I'm on like 9.
Yeah. I'm not going. No spoilers. No spoilers. No spoilers. Really good. No spoilers.
I'm loving it.
Yeah.
I'm loving it.
Yeah. Peasy said where he got to, he's like, it's really good.
Oh, so he is already started?
Yeah, he started.
Okay.
But he.
How far is he?
Last I heard, around 4, I think.
Okay.
Something like that.
What is there? 13?
13. I mean, the guy is, dude. He is amazing.
He's perfect.
Yeah.
Dude.
I just love watching this guy. Like, dude, he is huge, and like, wow.
Now, I might be overstepping the potential, reach and power that this could have. But hear me out on this, right? Luke Cage. One of the things that has been missing so often, and sometimes feels like it's being shoved down our throat, that they've done with a genuine sincerity on this, is that Luke Cage is a fantastic African-American male role model.
Yep.
And he's different than the original comic book, because the comic books made him super uber cool, which made him a little bit almost like an anti-hero. Because I remember him back in the day, I used to read some of this stuff. And now maybe, like I said, I'm overreaching the potential, reach that this could have. But one of the things that we are suffering from this country so bad, of course, is the division. A media-fueled, division that is making challenging situations like life and death protest in regards to civil rights.
Yeah.
And I would love, just like anybody who really wants to take and have prosperity, I'd love to have the unity be there. And it was always a strain before, but it's really, 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 really come to a powder keg where you could have like another civil war potentially.
Yeah.
I mean, before, if you told me that, I would have laughed. I'd have been like,
I'm
you're crazy.
right there with you.
And I love when the media uses a character like this in a positive way.
Yeah.
And if they can maybe create a bridge within their storylines to show, I mean, think about it, Daredevil with Luke Cage and the Defenders, or even Luke Cage with Iron Fist, Power Man and Iron Fist. This thing where, we shouldn't be divided by our color. Even with our ideologies, the number one thing should be people.
Yeah.
And when I saw this, I was like, man, you've got a lot of potential power. Please use it responsibly.
Yeah.
Because he comes across like a good guy.
Yeah. Really.
Anyways, that's my little
really
political
love the show.
soapbox.
Love the show. Dude, he's awesome. So many of these characters in it. It's just amazing.
March next year, Iron Fist.
March 17th.
Any word on the Defenders?
I have not looked up any more on that. I just heard that when they were talking about it on. I saw it on Facebook, is where I just happened to see that. But as far as Defenders, I do not know.
Did you see
Dennis? Give us some info on that.
Yeah, throw it up on
Dennis
comments,
Hayes.
Dennis. What about the new released Wolverine 3 poster
I saw that.
and the name
Logan
for the third
I saw
movie?
that. I was like, oh.
I'm so glad they did that and they didn't call it Old Man Logan.
Yeah.
That would have bummed me out from like, okay, we got our first look at Wolverine in Japan, and then the next look you let us have isn't one of his 500 adventures, it's his last one.
Yeah.
That's the only problem. That's a big problem I had with Batman. He comes out, he has one adventure becoming Batman, one adventure as Batman, and that's it, a final. Like, he had 3 adventures. I was like, really?
Yeah.
What about James Bond? You know, these are not sequels. They're installations of movies, dude.
Let me ask you a theory I heard about James Bond.
Ooh, I was wondering if we were going to touch on movie theaters tonight.
Well, this
Or
is
theories
this
tonight.
is a little bit of a different one here. I heard today that, and I've always just thought this, that it's not just one James Bond.
Oh, I heard that too.
That it's
Code name.
It's the code name. Which do you think it is? It's always been one James Bond through the whole thing, or it's a code name?
It would be a fantastic explanation to why James Bond is around this long.
Yeah.
But no, I don't think that. I think if you want it to have merit,
Well, wait. Which way are you going with this? That
I think it's
that
one guy.
Really?
Yeah.
I just don't think so.
Oh yeah, I think they just
it's a
milked
code name.
the storyline.
I think it's a code name that, and I heard somebody say this. So does that mean in training they always had to have the shaken, not stirred?
Yeah, no kidding. Right. There you go. There's evidence right there.
But I was like, well, that's just they just all happen to like the same thing.
Top of the cuff, what's your favorite James Bond actor and movie?
Well, I can't remember the names of the movies, but I always like Sean Connery, and I know most people don't like Sean, but I love Sean Connery. Love that accent.
Oh, dude, he's suave too.
He was so suave as a young guy.
But you like that better than Daniel Craig?
I do. I like Daniel Craig. Don't misunderstand. I like Daniel Craig, but I like Sean Connery best.
Dude, I think the first time that I ever had any respect for the character at all was Casino Royale. When I saw that was the best Bond movie. Even today, even the other ones, they were okay.
Give me some
that-
Goldfinger too. I like Goldfinger.
Nothing could touch for me. But the thing is, I grew up, and when I was young, it was too old for me. You know, with Sean Connery and what's the other guy?
I know we had Pierce Brosnan, and he was in there for. Well, not Pierce Brosnan.
Yeah, Pierce
was that
Brosnan
his
was
name?
there for a little bit.
Timothy
Dalton.
Timothy Dalton. That was another one I was thinking of.
So George Lazenby
Yeah,
was
I think was he the
in
first
Her
one?
Majesty's Secret
I'm
Service.
trying to remember if he was the very first one or not. I think so.
He might have been. Roger Moore.
Yeah.
And when Roger Moore was James Bond, I thought he was lighting his loafers.
Yeah.
I was like, you're not convincing me you're a tough guy.
Yeah.
You look like you would be, you know, maybe a man of the world, maybe have game with the ladies, do good business deals. But a judo chop isn't going to end the fight.
Gosh.
Judo chop.
Judo chop. Like, really, guys?
Sean I thought of as tough. Timothy Dalton had a little toughness to him. Pierce Brosnan, no. But when Daniel Craig fought that dude in the bathroom and did that parkour running and then jump-started his heart, yeah, dude, that's James Bond.
I do like some parkour movies. Throw some of that in there. Like, this is awesome.
Dude, that one was one of my favorite ever.
You know what? Let's go through 2 more fan theories.
Oh, you want to do a couple movie
And
theories?
you know, I know we're over my time, but doggone,
The Mets are playing. Do you want to do
yeah,
this now or say?
Yeah, I'm still doing this. I don't care.
We're going home for it.
All right, Harry Potter. All right, one of the fan because you said you heard one too.
Not of Harry Potter. I was just joking.
Well, doggone you.
I've got another movie theory, but it's about a different movie.
Well, in one of the fan theories was it was all in Harry's head. The whole Hogwarts, everything was in his head. He was living. His parents
Living under the stairs.
His
still?
parents were abusive to him, and he created this whole world while he was in that closet, you know, under the stairs.
Boo.
I was like, that's really interesting. because he was an abused child, just trying to like use his mind to get out of that situation.
That's an interesting theory.
I totally disagree with it.
I totally enjoy the idea of this place being real.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's one of the biggest cop-outs. I remember in second grade when I wrote like a story for school or something, I thought it was an incredible twist at the end that the kid woke up and it was all a dream. And it was like a magic kind of like Wizard of Oz kind of feeling. And I honestly, at that time, didn't...
You Shyamalan before there was a Shyamalan.
Yeah. And I didn't even think that I was, stealing the idea from the Wizard of Oz, because they didn't get knocked out. He just woke up and it was a dream. But I thought that was so original.
Yeah.
And this kind of comes across like that. It's like there's no originality in taking away the joy we experience of seeing a new reality and then saying, just kidding.
And I hate it when that happens.
When they do that.
Oh, I tell you the one that I hated the most. When you were younger, did you watch Dallas?
No.
But they had an entire season where Patrick Duffy's character died, and the beginning of the next season, he woke up. His wife woke up, and he was in the shower taking a shower, and it was all a dream for her.
That's the lamest, lame duck junk.
They did that because they couldn't get a contract with him.
Really?
Yeah. So I was like, well, that's just...
All right, give me another
and the last
movie
one,
theory.
I'm sure there are tons of them out there, but the other one I saw that really intrigued me was from The Dark Knight. The Joker was a war vet that suffers from PTSD. And he got scars from the war, and all this tactical information that he had is what he was using to be able to set those bombs off in the hospital and do all this stuff behind that. He was actually a former war vet.
That's actually really good.
That is really good.
I loved him coming up with, I got these scars.
Yeah.
See, Dad would come in drunk. And I was like, oh, dude. And then the next time it changed.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, wow. That's really good. You don't know which one.
Yeah.
The PTSD is good.
And they said, some of his twitches and stuff, and I'm like, maybe something there to it. And I was like, because when I first heard it, I was like, that's crazy. Then the more I thought about it, I was like, it's actually kind of believable.
Let me tell you what, that's one of my favorite movies of all time.
Oh, I love
not just
I love
The Dark
that
Knight, not just my favorite, like in my favorite superhero category. That's one of the best movies I've ever seen. Love Heath Ledger in that. I love, like, any ID on him? No, just like some knives and lint. I was like, yep, that's what the Joker would have. Dude, do you have another theory?
That's only two I have. Do you have any theories
I have
you've heard?
one more, but I hate to say it because it's been on the internet lately. A couple different places I saw it. So I don't think it's going to be anything new anyone hasn't heard, but I'll put it out. Grease. In the movie, John Travolta's character talks about meeting Sandy, and he saves her from drowning, in the ocean. And then they come back, to school, and she shows up as a student at his school, and they have this relationship. The fan theory is, in reality, Sandy drowned. And in her drowning, had this whole thing flash before her eyes, the movie. And that's why at the very end of the movie, she is dying and going up to heaven, and that's why the car is floating up.
You know what? It's one of those things that it seems like I'd heard before.
Have you heard it? I've never heard it, but I've read it like 3 times in the last couple of weeks.
So that's an interesting theory.
Another theory said it was a death, but it was actually Travolta's death.
Like his career lately?
Yeah, right. Scientology.
I'm sorry.
And they said the reason they think it was Travolta's death is because there was all of this stuff with the car that she wouldn't have connected with, and known anything about. Yeah. And it would have talked about, man, if I had one more chance, I wish I could have her. She's a good girl.
That's an interesting theory. I mean, I like it better as her drowning. I mean, that sounds better. Like, I'm glad she drowned. No, but
that's
I mean that
horrible
that
thing
theory,
to say, Daryl.
That theory is really interesting.
Have you ever seen that thing on YouTube where they did like this reunion thing? Probably it might have been even 10 years now. But she is doing a concert, and then all of a sudden the music starts, and she puts on that leather jacket and walks out, and then right before his thing, he walks out, and they do this surprise duet.
Yeah, I do remember seeing that.
That's cool, right?
That is cool. All those years later. Yep.
My wife on trips has me make her like CDs. Now the kids are old enough. We put their input in too, so that we go on a trip. We all have some music, and it's fun.
Mm-hmm.
And one of her picks, she didn't tell the kids, it was the Grease Mega Mix that I put on. It was just a compilation of all the different, like Summer Lovin' and You Better Shape Up, all that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And Connor wasn't having it, man.
I'm
that
right there
thing
with you,
came
Connor.
on, boom, choom, boom, choom, boom, boom, and he was like, "No, no, turn it off."
Connor, I got your back on this one.
He was like, I hate to admit it, I love it. If I'm going down the road and I got my iPod on, and no one's there, I am John Travolta and all over that place, man.
I just have a feeling you're joking to the world right now. I don't know.
I'm singing it.
Gosh.
I love it.
So, hey,
I got chills, they're multiplying.
dear Lord.
That's not bad, right? Come on,
No,
man.
I gotta be honest. That actually sounded pretty good. I hope it comes off on the podcast like it sounded here, because that was actually pretty good.
Andy Henson, if you ever need any backup, let me know.
There you go. There you go.
Andy's gonna be like, Troy, no.
Well, hey, I can be like the Temptations, like one of the guys in the background just doing my little dance. And
Yeah, right?
That's all I got.
That's one thing. I actually tried out one time for a musical, and I had sung before in choir and stuff, and my teacher said, "No, I want you to go try out, for one of the parts." It was like The Sound of Music. And I'm sitting in the audience watching some of my friends go up, and they're horrible. I mean, if you would have taken a cat by the tail and legs and swung its head up against the wall brutally,
Golly,
it would have sounded. It sounded better.
I mean, I thought you were going, if you have a rocking chair and the cat gets his tail stuck underneath.
No, you have to smash that cat.
God.
Stop, please kill me.
Dang.
And I'm sitting there giggling like, that is terrible. All of a sudden,
Did you run out before you sang?
They call my name up, and I go up, and I get on stage, and I've never felt anything like the stage fright that I felt right there. And I got up there, and they were like getting ready to play the music. All right, and 3, 2, 1, cue. And he starts playing, and it's The Sound of Music, and I have to sing "Doe, a deer, a female deer," all that. All
Never
the way
seen the movie.
Anyways, there's that song that's in this movie, and as it was going through, I couldn't start. I just could not make myself.
Froze.
I could not make myself look as dumb as what I just seen them. And I had no confidence that I'd be able to pull off any of these higher notes and stuff. And I wasn't about to try. And it stopped. And they go, "Troy, you okay?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm not really feeling really good right now." And they were like, "All right, well, you're here now. Let's give it a shot." And I was like, "No, I tell you what, I think I'm going to come back." And they were like, No. We got the music up here. Let's cue it up again. Are you ready?" And I said, "Pew!" And I ran off that stage. I was like, "You ain't getting me to do this."
Oh.
Ever since that day, I can talk. I've done drama. I've done demonstrations. I cannot sing in public.
Was that a regret?
I regret not being a rock star.
There you go.
But I just don't, man. Like the guys who can do that, like Andy, all my respect, man. That's got to be one of the most fun, powerful moments you could experience.
Do you like going to plays and musicals?
I used to when I was involved in it a lot, because I was actually, I not only did it in high school, I did it in college, and then I traveled with a drama troupe for a year. And I was going to go to summer stock. I wanted to get an agent, and I wanted to take a shot at it. And the night before I was supposed to go, I actually had some meetings set up, and I was going to go out to LA. I had some meetings set up, try to, get anything with some friends that had some connections.
I know some people.
And I had a family member who was living with us, my cousin, and I was like his big brother. And no big deal if I moved. I mean, it was that time. That night, I was woke up, and my mom told me his father had just passed away overnight.
Yeah.
And I had the best connection with him, and I had to tell him.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, that's the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. And I mean, he was just hugging me and crying and holding me, and I could not think of saying, "Hey, I'd love to stay. I got to go." And I went up, and we had to go to Vermont that night because that's where his family was.
Yeah.
And I decided, I was like, you know what? I'm going to have to reschedule, and I just never did.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of took it as a sign that the universe just was like, nah,
Yeah.
that's not what's important for
Mm-hmm.
you, Troy. For other people, it's really important. For me, I don't think that was my mission, that I was supposed to do here.
But anyway, Rick Shabani, when you get big, two of us over here, we want to give it a shot.
Yeah, dude, if you have it now, man, I'm all about it.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. Me and Troy, we're there.
Dude, I'm ready, Rick.
Would you be co-star, or would you have to be the star and I have to be?
Well, dude, let's do the audition. The role will fit the person.
Oh, if it's
If
a
it's
small
Dumb and
role,
Dumber, it's all you.
it's all me.
We'll do like a Jean-Claude Van Damme. What is that? Double Impact.
Uh-huh.
Both parts will be played by Daryl.
Minus the kicks and splits.
Dude, because of my big legs and karate, I can do the splits no problem.
For those who don't know, I do have black silk underwires.
The underwires.
One of these
My
stupidest
favorite-
yet funniest things ever from Jean-Claude.
No.
Until Jean-Claude Van Jackson.
No. The best was him dancing in a singlet and
Oh.
breaking.
Yes, yes. If you haven't seen that, like 5 seconds, it's awesome. It is absolutely awesome.
I was into
Awesomely
breakdancing
horrible.
before I was into martial arts,
Mhm.
and I watched that movie literally as much as I ended up watching Enter the Dragon when I
Yeah.
saw that.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
to this
gosh,
day, I
I
remember I
watched
was
that.
like, who is that guy in the singlet?
Really?
Because he was ripped and
Yeah.
big, and he was, he looked like, a movie star.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, who is that?
I'd never noticed him because I was always
I 100% noticed
I was looking
it.
at Turbo and Ozone coming out.
Let me tell you, when I first saw Bloodsport,
Mm-hmm.
I immediately
Wow.
remembered. I was like, that dude was in Breakin'. And I went back and I popped my VHS and I was like,
Wow.
and back then we didn't have the internet. I couldn't confirm it.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm like, that's him. I know that's him. And it was.
Wow. You're the only person that ever said they knew that to me.
I'm
Because
telling you.
because everybody's like, did you know he was in that? And they're like, you're crazy. Get out of here. I'm like, no,
I remember.
seriously.
I had a wasted youth, man. A lot of VHS rentals. Well, back then, bootlegs off of Cinemax, HBO,
Yeah.
and my VCR. Push record now! Now!
Yeah. Or if you didn't have like one of those channels, you tried to get it, try to manipulate things to actually get those channels.
Do you remember like doing your homework and waiting for the top 10 request line? And
Yep.
you would have a blank tape in there waiting
Yep.
for the song you knew was
Yeah.
coming on at
Yeah, it
number
was
4
coming.
last night.
Yep.
And you were waiting every time you take and you push record real quick to get
Yeah.
it. And from then until now, that song doesn't sound right if you don't have that DJ's intro.
Yeah, that's exactly true. Because I was about
Isn't
to say,
that?
he always talks over the first about 5 to 10 seconds of the song.
Always.
Yeah.
Or if there's even like a commercial
Mhm.
that was coming on before and like you record, I'm recording the whole thing. I want
Yeah.
the whole thing. I'm not going to take a chance on missing it.
Mhm.
You're like, and that's right. Hey, coming at you right now on number 5. Here they go. Def Leppard, pour some sugar on me. Bump. And
Yep.
when it doesn't play, I'm like, dude, where's Paul Bomber Barry?
I was like, where's Casey Kasem?
Dude, right? KZ100, Lynchburg, Virginia.
Yeah. The top 50, the top 40 countdown.
Dude.
I always remember, he would always have that one song in the top 4 that had to have a sob story.
Dude, I would take and want to kick him in his old teeth. I was like,
Yeah.
this one's going out.
Megan, she is in the Bahamas, and her boyfriend Brad.
Oh, gosh. I
They
remember,
just
like,
broke up.
dude, we were just listening to Van Halen, and now you're bringing me down, dude.
Exactly. So every week we'd be outside, and I want to say it was every Saturday. We'd be outside playing outside, and my brother would have his boom box up in one of the windows, so we could hear the top 40 countdown as we're outside playing.
Dude, I used to love that. We used to have, when hip-hop first came on, I'd record Friday night, WJJS, and get all the break dance music. Bow, 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 chicka, chicka, bow, ch, ch. 6 hours.
Yeah,
And you'd have... I actually could stop doing it after a while because, I mean, you got like a collection of these things.
Yeah.
But every time I'd go up to the park across the street, Steve and T would go up there and they'd have their boom box And this thing was so big you couldn't put it on your shoulder. They had to carry it.
Oh, super one. 'Cause
It was a
we
suitcase.
had the smaller one.
Dude,
you had it on your shoulder.
Dude, he had an audio suitcase.
It was like a cassette player with 2 big speakers on it.
I'm trying to think, what was it
And
called?
a radio.
Slappy Sammy
Samsonite.
That's what it was.
I was way off.
I was way off. And he'd put that thing up there and crank that thing. I could hear that thing in my house. And I would be like, not annoyed. I'd be like, oh, they're gonna break dance. I'm going up. Here we go.
Yep.
All the kids are coming around.
Reminiscing about the good old days.
That was good times, man.
Kids today, they don't even know what it's like to play outside.
Dude, Minecraft and Gears of War and bleh.
I can play some Gears of War, but I never got the Minecraft. It's like, wait a minute, let's go back to the 16-bit.
Connor loves it.
My nephew, all about it.
All about it. Like, they just updated it like last week.
It's like that one guy that we know, he loves World of Warcraft.
Nerd.
PZ.
Nerd.
PZ, nerd.
Oh, my goodness.
What? Oh, my goodness.
Oh, my goodness. Okay, we're in the studio right now, which is my office at the Edge. And I've had one of my young students whose dad teaches here, Eli Zobel.
Yeah.
Dad is Dave Zobel, right?
Yeah.
This poor kid is missing his belt for a month.
Well, dude, we've been up here and it's like it's been there the whole time.
As I just leaned this way and looked under the coffee table, that's his belt.
Dude, I mean, like the last month that we've been up here recording, we saw it there. It was over there right where you're sitting right now.
I asked him just the other day. I was like, dude, where's your belt? You have not had your belt, man. Dude, can't find it anywhere. That's his belt.
He doesn't need that. Doesn't need to progress any. Gosh, he's got like 87 stripes on there.
He's ready. He only needs one more stripe to test. If I wouldn't let him test, I was like, you ain't got your belt, kid. That ain't rocking.
Zobel, don't listen to this. He's never tested. Sorry.
Dude.
That's hilarious.
That is.
When you laid back, I was like, are there donuts under there? What's up under there? Dude, we got pizza and donuts. It's a good day.
And then all of a sudden, it was like, that's not a Raisin Bran look. That could be Peanut Butter Captain Crunch look.
I was like, he's got some cheesy poofs.
I need some cheesy poofs and some Reese's Puffs.
Oh, my goodness.
Sorry, that's the best I can do on my Cartman.
Yeah, Cartman. Let me just say this. He's had this Cartman for well over a decade, and it is still amazing. I remember the first time you did that, we were all around on guys' night, and I was like, I think I laughed for a good 45 minutes. I like the next day, my abs and stuff was sore because I laughed so hard.
I love that. Listen, I can only take that show in small spurts. They're so over the top that I'm like, okay,
yeah,
Jesus doesn't want me watching the show.
They are way past over the top with that stuff.
I give them props for staying on the air.
They've been on for a long time.
It's got to be 10 years.
Oh, well, I think well over that.
Like 15?
I would say probably something like that.
Yeah.
I might be wrong about that, too.
Could be.
Because, I mean, well, we talked about it back in, like, 2003, 2004.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
So, I mean, that you're looking at 13 years right there.
That's a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, are you ready to call it a night for your Mets game?
Yeah, I mean I meant to cut this at an hour, but we're at like 127 now. But you know what? This has been a lot of fun. Just reminiscing about all kinds of stuff. Theories thrown in there. Little Harley Quinn.
Some food talk.
Lots of food talk.
Lots of food
I'm
talk.
going to be stopping at Sheetz and getting donuts and hot dogs.
I hate you.
Which I'm not, because I'm still trying to, stay healthy.
Good for you. Okay, good. That makes me feel better.
That I'm not telling you about.
Daryl, you're working out harder. I think you gained 5 pounds. I have no idea.
The pregnancy's coming back.
Dude.
Anything else, Coach?
No, hey, next week we got a whole bunch of new stuff coming up for you. New character. Maybe we'll have a new section for the food.
Yeah, the foodie section.
The foodie section.
And is Riley's room anytime soon?
You know what? Riley might have some things because she has been really into cooking. Maybe I can get some cooking ideas
There
from
you go.
her.
I was talking to her the other day, and I was like, "So, what's Riley's room gonna be? What are we gonna do?" She said, "We'll try to do some comic books or something." I'm like, "Whatever you want to do, we'll talk about it."
You know what? I think the food thing might give her something.
Yeah, it might be a little bit down her road there.
One of the things I'm trying to get her to do, you know, you want to raise your kids right.
Exactly.
Okay. One of the things I want to try to get her to do is learn how to cook for me.
Oh, there you go.
Because it's all about her, really. I mean, I'm just going to be there.
You're just a tester.
I'm just a tester.
Yeah, you know, you're there for her.
I'm just like, look, I have a couple of things I'd like you to try. Dad, I'm not even allowed to turn off the stove yet, or on the stove.
Hey, Riley. In a few years, all he'll be able to chew is applesauce.
Apples.
So just remember that baby food.
Dude, don't be
Puree.
throwing-
Learn puree.
Do not be throwing our apples in the blender. Dude. Hey, good stuff, man. All you guys out there in YouTube land, I hope you have a great week.
Yeah, and if you guys have any theories about movies and stuff that are a little off the wall and stuff, let us know because I love those things.
Dude, I love when I hear a good one.
Mm-hmm.
You know, something that makes you look at that movie that you've already, put in your mind in a brand new way.
I mean, that Jar Jar Binks one was...
That Jar Jar Binks one is brilliant.
That threw a big twist on a whole bunch of stuff, but...
It's not a fan theory, but I remember they're talking about play Wizard of Oz and Bark at the Moon at the same time.
Wait, what?
What was the? It was a
Wizard
Pink
of Oz
Floyd
and
album.
Bark at the Moon? That's Ozzy Osbourne.
Yeah, it's not Ozzy. It's what is it?
I remember that album. It had like the triangle with the prism coming through it. I remember that.
I hate this because this is something that in normal conversation
Yeah.
I would have not messed up.
Yeah, I know. I'm right there
And
with you.
I
I can see the album. And
It's not Bark at the Moon. I think that was on before I came in.
Yeah, that was Ozzy Osbourne.
Yeah, that was Ozzy.
Yeah. Little red Corvette.
No, that wasn't Prince.
Gosh, oh man, it wasn't The Wall, was it?
No.
Pink Floyd, The Wall, no.
Maybe it was called The Other Side of the Moon from Pink Floyd.
Maybe.
Something like that.
Leave that comment down below if you've made it this far.
God, I wish they had like something called Google.
Yeah, I don't. One day they'll invent this kind of thing.
Yeah, there's no one's gonna take and catch me on this because no one's gonna make it this far in.
Will.
Will.
I just made a.
Will.
Riri. We will.
Wilma.
Peasy he'll probably make it through.
Yeah, he will.
Funk Off. My buddy Funk Off. He'll make it through.
Funk Off.
Funk
I love
Off.
that.
He used to be Dr. Fudge. Now he's Funk Off.
Oh, I like that better.
Yeah, and he's got his own page, does videos and stuff too.
Dude, I gotta look at some of his stuff.
I might call shenanigans on this, but he gave me credit because he watched all my stuff and he said, "You know what? I'm gonna start a channel too," which he improved on it though. So doggone it.
What, he's doing better?
He's doing better than me. Him and his wife, they are just better than me. But he won't even get on camera though. She's the one doing it.
Oh, smart.
Yeah.
That's why Peasy's gonna be the one representing us on camera.
Yeah. And how much longer before we get things set up for camera?
Well, I took one of the posters, the centerpiece poster that you wanted to take and get framed. It doesn't fit in normal frames. So we either have to take and develop a frame for it or get a different middle piece.
Mm-hmm.
And then we can start setting up shop.
All right.
Okay.
I'm ready anytime. Got the camera ready to go.
Oh, are we doing just a single camera shot?
Yeah.
So we'll start, right?
Yeah. I don't have a crew to have 3 different cameras and everything like that.
Don't tell no lies. Get your posse in here.
I do. I've been talking to somebody.
Have you?
Maybe.
Oh.
Maybe not. Potentially. If you made this far, you can call me on it.
Yeah, we have to vet you on that. I don't know who you're going to bring in. Might be somebody I saw in the post office with a mugshot.
Dang, that guy did look familiar.
Yeah.
In the Gotcha magazine.
Kurt. All right, homie.
But anything else?
Nope, we're good.
And we're out. You guys have an incredible day.
See ya!